many of you, this is the first time you've been at this library?
Oh, this library? Yeah.
Well, we all have something in common. This is my first time at the Amityville Library, also on John Street. Now, isn't that ironic? I wonder why they named the library street after Carpenter.
Because it's an Amityville horror.
Don't bring the films into this, Joe. So I want to introduce myself to you. I am a nationally known film historian, and I have been doing this my entire life because I love it, and it's my feeling of purpose that these films should not be left dormant, to be locked away in a vault. The creativity, the talent, the heart that went into all these films really made it worthy of being the word iconic used for these films. But the thing is that I've learned also is the fact that they represent historically what was going on in America. So really to explain them, to give you all, because I strongly believe that to watch these films, you really have to have, and appreciate them, you really have to have the mindset of what was going on then, as is being shown and spoken about and dealt with in the films. This especially, which I will get to you in a moment, but first, Mr. Commander Gary Glick of the Jewish War Veterans Association, who is the commander.
I will become the commander.
He said he will become the commander. In our minds, he is the commander, right? Applause, please. Gary would like to tell you all of the honor of us going to be celebrating Memorial Day.
Right.
Gary, it's all yours.
Okay. As you guys know, it's Memorial Day, and it's where it's a somber day really versus a Veterans Day, where we put our flags up and with these poppies for our war dead and our heroes and people who served before us, way before. And it started out in Flanders Field. And the reason why too is what he was talking about, this movie here with the Three Stooges had a lot to do with the beginnings of what the Jewish war veterans were started as. And it goes back in 1896, before this film was done, talking about history. And what happened was, a guy named Mark Twain said, the Jews never served in the service. And what happened was, 7 guys got together and said, in 1896, yes, we did. And there were over 7,000 that fought in the Civil War. And these 7 guys started on March 15, 1896, here in New York City, 496 Lexington Avenue. They started the Hebrew Association of Union Soldiers. And it was not Confederates, but Union. And then from that day forward, it turned to 63, and then on and on and on. And it was something that was done. And it's just, I just went to Washington, and we had our 127th year of being in existence. And this is what I'm trying to get out now, because nobody even knew about these minutes here in history. But we finally got a copy of it, and we're able to get it out. And I brought it to libraries, etc. And they took it in, and they're actually enjoying it. And there's many more things that nobody even knew about, where women in the military. I found this movie, and I bring it here after they get it from the museum up in Washington, and show about the women who served during World War II, Korea, and just in a few more days, in June 1st, or I'm sorry, June 2nd, the woman's going to be only 103 years old. Loretta Weiss, her name is, and we're going to be over here in Stony Brook Nursing Home, and we're having a big 103rd birthday party for her. She served during World War II, served during Korea, and also Vietnam. Up till 1974, she served without any anyone saying anything to her, she won, also I understand she won some medals. And this is what we're trying to find out through Ton, what she did, and I'm waiting to hear from one of her family to get this out there. That's it. And another thing too, just to tell you, if anyone needs any kind of help in veterans and families, there's benefits for them.
So if you have anything like that, please contact Gary. Gary will also make his phone number available, correct?
Yes, to him.
Okay. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and again, I look at you and I use that term oh so loosely, but we're gonna have a lot of fun here, and but mainly I want to really have these films shown because it represents. Well, I'll begin it this way, more humanly. I have an article that I came across that a lot of people say it's phony, it's wrong, it's false. Well, my research showed it is on the level. It's why Hitler hated the Three Stooges.
And you're right, it is true, because I had one guy, Marvin Gold.
Ah, really?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, we'll get this to him.
Yep.
Marvin Gold is a great World War II historian, Gary knows. I saw this article, I went crazy for it. Now I have, well at home I have on film in 16 millimeter, like about 400,000 prints. And those prints are really making my basement very, very packed, but I use them for historically. But the main thing is I use them to keep them available. Now, what I did was I took all of their World War II parody films and I put them together. And what I found and what I'm trying to show you is you're going to meet via these films Three Stooges that you've never known of before. The Three Stooges, as I'm going to prove to you today, were our first political satirists. Now, FDR, the president of this time of the World War II period, prior to us going into World War II, he made a statement that he did not want and did not allow anybody, any entertainment, any medium, to let go with anything that would be insulting to people who were not our enemy yet. So, Germany was not our enemy, and Germany was doing hellish things to its people. And we all knew about it. Now, FDR knew about it. FDR, all these Jews escaped Germany and were coming over here on a boat. And FDR sent them back, not to insult Hitler, but he sent them back to their death. Okay? Now, the Three Stooges were three diminutive little Jewish guys. They worked for a Jewish studio run by Jews. And these Jews obviously did not like this because they had the cheapest, Columbia was the cheapest run studio at the time. So they could get away with it, especially when it was short. So they put out these shorts, and the shorts titles, I'll tell you what they are. I'm showing 5 of them today. So get your yucks ready, and you'll all be victims of circumstance. Okay? You'll be porcupine. And first one is the very first one they made, which really showed in a light comedic sense the beginnings of the Nazi Party and how it all began. That film is called You Nazi Spy, a parody on like what Joe Penna was saying, oh, you nasty man. But it was, oh boy, am I a dope. Anyhow, but a knowledgeable one. That was 1940. Next, I'll never heil again. I'll never heil again was the next one because You Nazi Spy was so well received by the audience. Then they stooged to Conga. That was made, there was a skip of a year, and that was 1943. Higher Than a Kite, again 1943, where they battled the Nazi element and the master race. Then the last one is going to be No Doughboys, a parody on World War I, the Doughboys. But in that one, obviously in 1944, we know what the Japanese did to Hawaii, and we have them battling Japanese spies. The whole thing, like in the Warner Brothers film, Confessions of a Nazi Spy, there was always that element of Nazis, spies getting into America. And there was Humphrey Bogart film, All Through the Night. All of that dealt with the Nazi element creeping into what we are and what our mindsets were. Sort of like now. No, so I'm not going to get political. But the whole thing is that I need you to learn from these films. You're going to be seeing another kind. A lot of people, and I show this program I've been lecturing at and teaching at Farmingdale State College. I've done this at temples. I've done this at Jewish men's groups, Jewish women's groups. And it really shows the strength of what we were in America for the Jewish people of America. We're all Americans, no matter race, color, Jew, religion, Catholic, Goy. And so what I'm saying is that you enjoy this film, you're gonna see films that I don't think you expect from the Stooges. They're tremendously well scripted, tightly scripted. The gags are great. The dialogue is marvelous, on point, every single gag. And it all is to represent one thing, represent the hell that was not being said by the rest of the world by FDR. I'm not saying anything against FDR, but these films will make you have your own mindset on what you think was the deal. So please, and Steve, you can roll it. And I thank you all for coming to the Amityville Public Library. God bless.
Oh, Mr. Carpenter, I wonder where you were. Oh, Mr. Carpenter, I never did job for you.
John, who was John?
And I want you to send a carpenter. A carpenter. Ah, never mind. Oh, Mr. Carpenter,